Hello everybody, welcome to the post-race show, the recap of Oakland Supercross. So, the race just happened, literally post-race right now, and I just realized that when the East races start, I could actually do these on Saturday immediately post-race, because the East races, I'm in California, the East races will come on a little bit earlier, so I'll be able to do these races. The only one that I won't do a immediate post race is next week in San Diego, because if you've heard, said it a million times, I will be there. So when we start going east, I probably will start posting these late Saturday night or early afternoon, or I don't know. Super Bowl tomorrow. Tell me in the comments who you got for the Super Bowl if you're watching this before the game. We're not here to talk about Super Bowl predictions, though. We're here to talk about Supercross. And if you didn't see it, go check out my video. I have a video up of where I actually built this track. If you watch the race tonight, you're gonna notice here that a ton of stuff are wrong. Like, there's a double before this finish, but I didn't really have room for it. And then here, well, if I don't crash, there was like a weird step up thing, and then the wall before the sand. Should have made that sand a little bit longer, but you know what, go check out my thoughts on it. And even this corner that's coming up after this double, well, if I don't mess it up, sorry guys, I'm gonna be really bad. Gonna be really bad. I'm really bad at time attack for some reason. Even this corner right here was like a raised thing, and then they had it on off where you could roll off and go over the table. Very weird. The whoop sections were pretty much the same. This triple was pretty much easy. Well, all the triples were easy for Supercross, unless someone screwed up in the whoops right there. It wasn't too bad. This section was like a raised table turn, if you know what I mean. So yeah. And then this first corner was more rounded off, even in the track map, but I built a custom start for that. If you want to know how I built this track, go check out my video of me building this track. Like I said, I do them every Friday. But next week's going to be a little bit strange, because I already have the San Diego track built. I don't know what I'll do for that. I'll come up with ideas this week, though. Oakland, it's over, and if you haven't watched it yet, spoilers in the show, for sure. Like, we're always going to be spoiling the race after they happen. The man I'm riding as right now, well, actually, let me knock out 250s real quick, because that was basically the boring main event of the night. That was not as exciting. Faulkner gets the whole shot, leads for about 10 minutes or so, and then Ferrandis passes him and takes the win. That's pretty much it. I mean, it was the same in the 450s, but we have more to talk about in the 450s because something happened on the final lap that I want to get into here a little bit. So, who else? Mosman. The heat race with Faulkner, man. I was a little bit bummed he didn't get the start, and obviously he went down. So a little bit bummed on that, but move on to the next race, and you'll be fine. I guess we can just move to 450s. Because the 250s, as I said, Justin Cooper had to go to the last chance qualifier. Got taken out by Luke Cloud of all people in the heat race. Those heat races, the 250 heat races, were really good, by the way. If you have the Sports Gold Pass, I know you can go re-watch the races every week after they happen. So definitely go check out those heat races if you haven't seen them, because they're really cool. I think they'll have highlights on them in the YouTube videos, the highlight videos on YouTube. We'll see. But the 450s where I want to spend more of the time, because everyone cares about the 450s, I feel, more about than the 250s. Other than if it's in Anaheim too, because the 250s were really good there, but the 450s were kind of normal. it was looking like it was going to be normal here. Like it was Tomac. Actually, no, Roxon got the whole shot. And Tomac was right there. Cerulo was right there. Before, I mean, my fantasy picks were looking really good there for a second. But they kind of got screwed because of a few stupid things. First of all, Ken Roxon I had picked for the win. Obviously, Tomac was faster tonight. And Roxon even said, like, he wasn't able to push the pace, or he wasn't feeling that well, which, third place for him, not feeling that well, kind of getting screwed on the last lap because it's something I'm going to talk about here in a little bit. That was pretty good for Ken, but I don't know why the bike audio is so low. Maybe it's good, so he can actually hear me. So, man, that's sad. I'm gonna beat my ghost here, and I'm not, and it's an invalid time. I don't like these invalid times for these games. Gets me. Where were we? Roxon looked good. Looked like he was gonna win it halfway through. Tomac got around him, but knowing Tomac, you know he's gonna make a mistake, and I called it about a couple laps later, I say. I don't know how many laps later, but like a few laps later, Tomac coming up to the sand section here. Basically what he does is he comes through here. I'm gonna go off the track here on purpose. He was wheeling over and gets off the track here, gets back on right here. Roxon's pretty much taking the lead by that point. And then Tomac, the whoops, where's kryptonite tonight? I'm not gonna say it. Basically, like a few laps later, he comes down the whoops here, side by side with Roxon. You know, actually, he's pretty far from Roxon. And comes up the inside on this corner, makes 2 passes on him. That's where he made both the passes on him tonight, on Roxon tonight. That's the Tomac I think everyone expects every single weekend, especially for me. And I honestly don't think he was as good as he was in Anaheim 2. Because Anaheim 2, he was ripping, I'll tell you. He did that stupid whoop thing through there. I don't like that. What else? Let me go over my fantasy picks real quick before we talk about the big blaring thing in the room. I had Roxon winning, and I had Blake Baggett in second, qualifying first in the first qualifier, and then I think he ended up like 5th, but he wasn't that far off. I was like, oh, here comes Baggett. He's gonna do well tonight. Like, watch out for Baggett. So I put him in second. Probably the dumbest decision ever, because basically it was the start that costed him, and he really didn't make no moves. I think he got up to 9th. Roxon, we all know what happened. I'll talk about that here in a little bit. Oh, big case. Tomac got hit in 3rd, but he won. I had Anderson in 4th, he was 1 spot off, and I had Barsha in 5th, and he was 1 spot off. And I had Freezy in the wild card, and I don't know what happened, but he got 14th. Was in the wild card spot there for a little bit, which was 13th if you don't know. Should I move on to the big blaring thing in the room though? Because that's basically all we have to talk about here. I think I will. Roxon and Webb. So, I mean, I missed the corner already, but next time we come around to that corner, I will show you what he does. But you have to remember, there's a double before the finish line that I just cannot fit in. Go see my me building this track video to find out why. Basically, Webb gets like a 5th place start. Actually, let's talk about one more guy, Adam Cerulo. I thought for a second there he was gonna win this race. He was riding really good, faded. He did say on the podium he had arm pump, pretty big arm pump, which that explains why he kind of faded. I think he got like 4th or something, so he wasn't that bad. So Cerulo got 4th. Okay, Now I want to talk about it. Cooper Webb and Ken Roczen coming together. First of all, Cooper Webb gets like a 5th place start. And is coming through, gets Cianciarulo pretty clean. Like well, actually not really clean. Like he comes through that corner off to the right there and kind of slaps his wheel. Woo! Guys, I'm all over the place. I don't do very well when I talk and ride at the same time. Ooh, my ghost. Kind of slaps his wheel, and then I didn't think he'd have a chance to catch Ken Roczen. I thought Roczen would just kind of fall into Tomac's line and basically follow him to the finish and kind of win, or kind of get second, just close the race out for second. But man, that last lap, Webb was coming, and like Anaheim too, I got very scared that he was gonna do something. And Anaheim too, we all know Roczen was able to hold him off. Here though, like down here it gets really close, but then about in this rhythm section, he makes a little mistake here, and this is kind of where he and then obviously it's 6 jumps, but they go triple. He comes up Roczen's going here. He comes up. Hold on, let me back up here. Do this again. So, sorry guys. I'm trying to line this up. Trying to show you guys exactly what he did. So, I'm sorry. He comes up the inside here. I think he singles out. Comes up the inside. Imagine there's a double here, okay? Punch Roczen. Roczen, I guess, got his foot launched, I want to say. Something like that. And pretty much almost takes him down. Like, I was so scared. Of course, my dad's yelling and everything. Like, we're pretty mad there. If you're watching this video for, like, my thoughts, you've probably seen it. But go back and watch it. He did not... Cooper... I'm sorry if you're a Cooper Webb fan and you say he had to do that. No, he didn't. Cooper Webb did not have to run it in that deep on Ken Roczen. And for dirty riding, here's where I am on dirty riding. If that's a pass for the championship, I'm a little bit more okay with it. That's a pass. But the moment you hurt a rider or get him limping off the track, because Roczen was kind of limping, sat on the podium. Well, not on the podium, but near the podium, kind of took his boot off. And even in the press conference there, or actually, I'm sorry, his podium interview, the press conference ain't even out yet. Podium interview, he did say that he could feel his foot swelling. I know Honda's gonna say, or Honda's gonna try to challenge it. Nothing's gonna happen. Like, nothing's gonna, no results are gonna get changed. Webb ain't gonna get a fine here. Because it's KTM. KTM's gonna throw a big fit, and they're gonna make sure that nothing happens to Webb. I will tell you that right now. Back to the whole dirty riding thing. What Ferrandis did to Forkner, I'm totally okay with. What Ferrandis did to Craig, I'm not very okay with it, but still a little bit more okay with it, because he kind of didn't hurt Craig. Yeah, he sent him flying, but he did not hurt Craig. And I'm sorry, I'm blanking here. Roczen, what he did to he didn't send Roczen flying off the track. Like, Roczen stayed on the bike, got third, but the moment you hurt a rider with a dirty pass, you've crossed the line. And it was unnecessary, very dirty. Like, there's no reason for that. So I'm not okay with that pass one bit. I know a lot of people, if anyone even comments on my videos or comments here, you guys are gonna say, well, it's the last lap, he has to move in there. I understand that, but when you have to drive in that hard where you actually hurt a guy's foot, especially Ken Roczen, who's been through so much in the last 2-3 years. Is it 3 years or 4 years? I think it's 3 years since that big. Okay, been through so much in the 3 years. No, that's not okay. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. I understand it's the last lap, you gotta move in, but don't hurt a man. Don't hurt a guy. Don't hurt anyone. That's unnecessary. I want to bring up something else with Cooper Webb before we leave here. Kind of make this video short. Do you remember in 2013, Villapoto, for all you the people who have been watching for at least 10 years, do you remember in 2013 when Villapoto had that huge hole in points, like got 16th at the opener, I believe, and kind of improved, got some wins in West Coast, but once they moved east, he really picked it up and won the whole thing. Came like from a 30 point deficit or whatever and won. I'm kind of thinking that's what Cooper Webb's gonna do. I'm sorry. I really think Cooper Webb's gonna come back and pull a Zach Osborne or something and win this championship. I don't know why. Once he gets a win, he's gonna be uber confident, knows he can win. And if you think about it, last year, East Coast is really when he solidified, okay, I'm winning this championship, because he got the red plate back. I mean, he had it in San Diego, but he really didn't do well because it was a mud race there. And then won Minneapolis, got 8th in San Diego, lost the red plate, won Minneapolis, won Arlington, got the red plate back, and kind of took off from there. East Coast is kind of where it all started, for me, where it all started for Cooper Webb. Yeah, those 2 wins in the West, but those could have been flukes at the time, so at least that's what I thought. So yeah, it's really, I hope, maybe he pulls a Zach Osborne and comes through and takes Tomac or Roczen out in the last corner, which would be really sad. In Salt Lake, which would be really sad because those guys have been really through so much. I mean, Tomac going for the championship every year makes dumb mistakes, and Tomac, he's only 3 points down in the championship. Webb's still in 5th, but if Webb gets a win here and those guys finish like 5th and 6th, which I don't think is ever gonna happen this season, if he does that, can you imagine where he's gonna be in points? Maybe next week's crazy. I will be there. I don't know if I'll post any video. I'm thinking about an opening ceremonies video. How would you guys like that? Nothing else? So I could just enjoy the races. I've been wanting to do an opening ceremonies video for a while too. So I think that's gonna end it here. Tomac got the win. Rode really good. I talked about him. Chad Reed wasn't racing tonight. He was up in the booth commentating the 450 main event. Yes. Had some things to say about Webb. Well, about that pass. I don't know. I don't really listen to the commentary that much. I listened to it afterwards. And about the TV coverage here. Don't show highlights from the previous week when a race is going on, because, bro, what if Tomac and Roczen got together and we didn't see it live on TV? That would have been stupid. So it was a good weekend. The heat races were probably the best racing because those heat races were really good. It's funny because my fantasy, I was looking so good halfway through the race. Like, Freezy was in 13th, Roczen was winning, Tomac at a point there was in 3rd, but got around Steam's roll pretty quick, and not in a nice way either. Like, he literally took him high in this corner, and blitzed to the whoops. But But, like, it was looking really good for me for fantasy other than Baggett. And I didn't get a single pick right. So I'll check my points tomorrow. Happy Super Bowl Sunday, if I can even say that. Super Bowl considered an American holiday? Let me know down in the comments below. Go Chiefs. 49ers suck. And I'll see you for Monday, I believe. I have a very funny Supercross commentary vid. That might be a little bit longer because thinking about doing a Triple Crown race for it. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you on Monday. Or Tuesday, or Wednesday, or Thursday. Whenever you come back to the channel, I will see you then. Bye-bye.